So what are you going to do with these?
So what I took was the cotton t-shirt, cut up into small patches. Place that here in this little Altoid can. Any metal box will work. But this one already has ventilation holes on the back side of it where the hinges are. So after cooking this in the fire for 15 or 20 minutes, because I had a whole bunch of cotton in here, little squares, I'm now taking it out to let it cool off. And what it'll do is it becomes a charcoal material, something that makes it really easy to get your fire started if you're going with fires without matches or fires without any kind of torch. So it makes it a lot easier to get a fire going, especially if you are using, which I enjoy doing, flint and steel. So I will show you that as well. So give me just a minute, let this cool down, and I will demonstrate that.
Is what you're doing kind of similar to like Coleman lanterns? How they've got that ash, the what do they call that?
Well, that's a wick that they have in there that's soaked in a kerosene. And so that kerosene is burning. So that wick is more like a candle.
The ones with the mantles, I mean.
Yes.
Okay.
A piece on top. Oh, the glow
yeah,
the
little
top
just
right
kind of dangles.
I'm thinking, yes. Yes, very similar to that.
Okay.
It's burning enough, and there's not too much oxygen getting in that would completely.
It just
burn
stays
that up
going.
It just keeps on glowing.
Wow.
So no, that's it right there. So
okay.
I usually let this cool down for 15 or 20 minutes, but I do have another program I have to go do down in the park, as I told you guys about with the Owl Power. So I do want to open this up, and hopefully it's not too hot still, and it won't burst into flames. Oh. We're okay. It's cool enough. So remember that white, that gray t-shirt you guys all held earlier? Remember that? Yeah. Regular cotton t-shirt. This is what it is now.
Wait, look. Can you see? Okay.
Now, black. Hold a piece of that. No, I wouldn't give you something hot. I'm a ranger.
That's all. Oh, it's still
Look how light that is. How thin that is. Can you hold up the light?
springy.
You can see through it now, can't you?
Yeah. Little holes.
Real gentle with it because it's really, really brittle.
I can see through it now.
Yeah.
Little holes.
Pretty neat, huh?
You're recording.
So now,
Mine didn't burn up.
no, it didn't. But most of the
dying.
cottonous fibers in it all burn up. So it's down to just a charcoal material. Just like you make charcoal for fires, that's what they're doing, the same kind of process. When you buy charcoal, you're buying something that's already been burnt once. So that burns well, light's easy. So if I took this material here, and let's see, I'm going to use that area right there, because this area right here is clear of leaves and stuff. I don't want to start a fire. But normally, I would get my tinder. I like using a bark material. I use like cedar bark. Rub it all up, and I'll show you. That's another thing I can show you on the program. Maybe demonstrate that tomorrow. But I take this bark and I rub it together, and it becomes super fine like powder. Kind of like if you took a tissue paper and you rub it in your hands a whole lot, it turns into a fine powder material. Lots of little hairs. That's really easy to catch on fire. So I'll put that down. I'll put this in the middle of it. Then I take my flint and steel. I have one made for my wrapper on my finger, so it's easier to work. Now I just got to hit that with a spark. Well, I'm hitting it. There it is. See that little spark?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It'll never go out. It'll just keep burning and keep burning. It'll burn this whole thing if it all cured well, if I cooked it long enough. It looks like I did. I'm gonna put another one on this side. I get one to hit it. Look at those two. That one's still burning, and you see those burning? So now, if I have my tinder on top of it, add a little oxygen, because you need 3 things for a fire. Oxygen, fuel, and then some type of heat source or spark. So now I have all 3. This is my fuel. I put my tinder on top of it, and literally, you can see that just slowly burning. Nothing to it. And that's my heat source. So I take it and start blowing, and that's how I started fires 3 times a day during the Fires Living History program. Talking about the importance of fire to mankind. Pretty cool, huh?
Could you, if you had to prepare for this without a fire like this, could you do this in the oven at home? Or like, I don't know, what would be another way that you could do this without a fire like this to do your...
I've never tried it without a fire. In theory, this is a lot of heat, so the oven should provide that if you're cooking, you know, here's 300 degrees or more. It looked like it would seem like it would possibly could. That's a nice thing to bring up. I've never thought about it because I'm always outdoors.
Yeah.
But if I went inside and used my oven like a normal person, I could try it out and see if that works, right? It'd be a nice experiment. Something you could definitely try at home to be careful. Let that happen, let it sit in there for a good, you know, it might be a little bit longer, you know, 20 or 25 minutes. But I know here